There are three credit cards you should have in your wallet at all times. Make sure you're netting hundreds of thousands of points with zero effort. I've spent years learning how to get the most value from credit cards, reading the fine print, reading about perks and benefits, and finding the best cards that fit my lifestyle. I currently have 7 credit cards in my wallet that has helped me get over 800,000 points. But what if I could only have 3? If I had to start over and I can only choose 3 credit cards for a killer point strategy, I'd pick these 3. And to be honest, they probably account for like 75% of all the points I get anyway. I'm gonna go through all their sign-up bonuses, their point multipliers, perks and benefits, and their costs. Whether you're new to the credit card game or you've been in it for a while, make sure to have these 3 cards in your wallet at all times. Also, do me a favor, if you end up liking the content, just hit that like button or subscribe. It'd be super awesome, super appreciate it. All right, let's get to it. All right, everyone, the first credit card out there, Bilt Mastercard. It's one of the newest ones out there. You may not have heard of it. It is a must get, and I'll show you why. All right, first thing to talk about is the sign-up bonus. Is there a sign-up bonus? No, there's no sign-up bonus. It doesn't matter. This card is so valuable, and I'll talk about it next. You don't even need a sign-up bonus. It kind of sucks. You wish it had one, but that's okay. It doesn't really need one. Where it's really special is the point multipliers. And why it's so special is it's the only credit card in the world where you could get points off rent. That's right. You can't use any other credit card for this except for Bilt Mastercard. Imagine you're spending $2,000, $3,000 a month. You'll get that literally in points by not doing anything, but just putting on your credit card and paying it off immediately. I also heard they're gonna work on mortgages next. So I know only 35% of the country is renting right now, but eventually this will also work with mortgages, which would be insane. So let's just say you pay $2,000 in rent, which is probably on the lower side. 2,000 times 12 is 24,000 points a year from literally doing nothing. Bilt's other point multipliers include 5 times points on Lyft rides, 2 times points on Walgreens, 2 times points on travel, and 1 point on everything else. All right, benefits and perks of Bilt Mastercard. I'm gonna start off just by saying all 3 of these cards have very similar travel insurance, phone insurance, no foreign transaction fees. They all have airline and hotel transfer partners, which is so important, and they all have kind of different ones, but I'm not gonna talk too much about that. One of the other good things about Bilt is that it's the most fun credit card you're gonna have. On the first of every month is rent day. You typically play games, you can win free rent, you can win points. They also give you special bonuses and rewards for transferring out to airline partners or hotel partners, or maybe you have free fitness classes. So it's really exciting to look for the first of every month. Also on that day, on the first of every month, it's 5 times points at all restaurants. So what's the cost of the Bilt Mastercard? 0, nothing. So yeah, there's no sign-up bonus. You know, the perks necessarily aren't great, but you're getting this card for the rent, for the points off of your rent. If you don't get this card, and again, I don't know why you don't get it. Maybe you don't pay rent, maybe you have a mortgage, then the Chase Sapphire Preferred is what I'd highly recommend because of the dining rewards and other transfer partners and travel perks. All right, I know I just said it, but you need the Chase Sapphire Preferred as your second card in your wallet. This is known as the best introductory travel credit card for years now, and I still highly recommend it. It's awesome. I've had it for over 10 years, and I'm gonna have it forever. All right, sign-up bonus. This one, you get 60,000 Chase points if you spend $5,000 in the first 3 months. I know it sounds daunting, but if you literally use this for all of your expenses, you can definitely hit that, I'm sure of it, and that's 60,000 points. At 1 cent per point, that's $600. And if you transfer out, it could be worth up to $1,000 just for signing up for this credit card. Point multipliers are great with this card. It's 5 times points on travel if you book through Chase Travel, 3 times points on dining, but better yet, 3 times points on online groceries, and also 3 times points on select streaming services. For the benefits and perks, you get a 25% increase on all your points that you spend booking through Chase Travel. I still wouldn't recommend that. That's 1.25 cents per point. You can get a lot more transferring out, but that's a whole other video I'll talk about. Also with this card, you get DoorPass for a year. So again, DoorDash, it's their premium service. I think it's like $10 a month, so it's $120 value if you decide to do that. Also, you get a 10% point anniversary bonus per year. So depending on how much you put on this, you'll get that bonus as well. The other perk you get, and I'll talk about it a little bit when it has to do with cost, is you get $50 towards a hotel stay if you book through Chase Travel. Let's say you're booking a $250 hotel, $150 hotel, you get $50 off. The cost is not free like the Bilt Mastercard. It's $95 per year. So what is that, like $8 per month or something? I know what you're saying, why would I pay for this credit card? It's not worth it. Honestly, if you never use this card at all and just got the sign-up bonus, it would take 6 years to break even. And that doesn't include any other points you get from it. So you might as well get this card. And if you're not using it, then just get rid of it. But you should get it for the sign-up bonus. And as you use it more, you're gonna realize this is a steal. So even though the cost is $95, with the $50 off for the hotel stay, which you probably stay at a hotel at least once a year, it's really just $45. So it's $45 a year. Again, that's like a little less than $4, I think, per month. You get this credit card, you get all of the perks, you get the sign-up bonus, you get the point multipliers, and the transfer partners is massive when you want to go travel, whether you're using hotels or airlines. And this is the second of 3 cards you need in your wallet right now. If you don't have it, go get it right now. Also, side note, if somebody you know does have it, have them refer you. If they refer you, they get 15,000 points. Maybe they'll treat you to dinner or something. Might as well get your friends some points. All right, some of the alternatives for this one, if you don't want this card, let's just say you don't want to spend the $95. The Bilt card is free. A lot of the transfer partners, they have most of them. You have 3 times points on dining. Again, if you don't use the online groceries or streaming necessarily, which isn't that big of a deal, I'd highly recommend just getting the Bilt one and going off of that one. The third card, which I haven't announced yet, but you probably saw in the thumbnail, if you get the third card and you match with Bilt Mastercard, that's kind of all you need. But this second card makes it the trifecta. And the third card you must have in your wallet is the Venture X. I know you're all thinking, holy shit, the Venture X, that is a premium tier card. I do not want to spend that much, but I will tell you why, and I'll explain why it makes so much sense to have this one versus the other one. So again, just stay with me a little bit, I promise. Sign-up bonus, even better than the Chase Sapphire. You get 75,000 points by spending $4,000 in 3 months. So not only do you get 15,000 more points than the Chase Sapphire, you have to spend $1,000 less to even get it. Again, at 1 cent per point, that's $750. And if you transfer out, that's well over $1,000 just by signing up. All right, the point multipliers is really why I have this card in my wallet. If you book through Capital One Travel, you get 10 times points on hotels and auto rentals, and you get 5 times points with airlines. So if you're booking any sort of travel, let's say you don't have the Chase Sapphire or you have both, it makes sense to look at Capital One. They kind of have different airlines in there, so you could look at both and what makes sense. That's huge. But the number one reason why to get this card is that you get 2 times points on literally everything. Everything. Like, it doesn't matter if it's for the vet, or you're buying headphones, or you're buying dinner, or you're going to a concert, or you're buying a cake. It doesn't matter. Literally 2 times points on everything. And that's the most important thing you could possibly have. All right. So I'll talk about costs right now. I'll kind of go out of order a little bit. It's $400 a year. That's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but let me explain how to make it worth it with the perks and benefits. And if you use the perks and benefits, it will basically be free. First up, you get a $300 annual travel credit. So if you book via the Capital One travel portal, you get $300 off. So think to yourself, do you travel at least 1 time per year? Do you fly anywhere 1 time per year? Stay in a hotel 2 nights per year? You'll spend over $300. If you book through the Capital One Travel, it'll automatically get taken off of your credit statement. So again, you pay $400 a year, $300 travel credit, which you'll probably use. If you don't travel at all, don't get this card. But I assume that you travel to see family or 1 vacation a year, you know, hotels, flights, whatever, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So now the credit card is $100 a year if you take advantage of that, just $100. The next perk is every year you get 10,000 anniversary points. No questions asked. Every year you get 10,000 points. We talked about it before. At 1 cent per point, 10,000 points is $100. If you transfer that out, it could be worth $150. Let's just pretend it's 100 though. All of a sudden, the $400 went down with the $300 credit to 100. With the 10,000 points, all of a sudden it's at 0, okay? Eventually, if you spend them, which is cost $100 or it's worth $100, it's literally 0. Not just top of that, now that we got that down to 0, I know it's still 400, you're paying $400, it hurts, but you get that back, right? They have $120 credit towards global entry or TSA PreCheck every 4 years. So if you don't have it, TSA PreCheck is amazing. You don't have to take off your shoes. The line is slow, the line is much less. It's fantastic. But there are 2 more benefits. One is you get airport lounge access. If you are lucky enough to be in an airport with one of the 3 Capital One lounges, they are stunningly gorgeous. And if not, chances are your airport has a priority pass lounge. It's so amazing to be able to walk into an airport, see all of the like little dirty seats and the dirty, everything's gross there, right? Travel sucks, okay? When you go in, you head to a lounge, you check in, there's free food, free drinks, nice bathrooms, nice seating. It's quieter. It's just, I'm spoiled now, right? It's so amazing. And again, this is a perk. We've already gotten the value from 400 to 0. I can never go back to non-lounge access again. And it's something that I just love, and you'll love it too, I promise. And the last perk is kind of nice. I will rent a car from time to time, but you get Hertz President Circle. That basically means you get cheaper cars, you get free upgrades, It's just a nice experience. You shouldn't get the card for this, but it's just a nice perk that you can use whenever you want. Alternatives. If you don't want to spend the $400, I get it. Even though you get into $300 back, there is the normal venture card. It is $100, but you still get a big sign-up bonus and you get the 2 times points on everything. You don't get the lounge access, you don't get the TSA pre-check, you don't get the Hertz President Circle. But in the end, if you don't feel comfortable spending $400 on a premium card, spend the $100. You'll still get the anniversary points, right, to make it 0, but you'll still get the 2 times points on everything, which is why you need this card. If you just add up all of the money you spend and you just times 2 points on everything, you will get tens of thousands of points over the course of the year, probably over 100,000, I would imagine. As an alternative, if you have the Chase Sapphire card, instead of getting this, you could get the Chase Freedom. It's not 2 times points on everything, it's 1.5 points on everything. But if you want to keep it in the same ecosystem, it's really beneficial. I would recommend if you do go for the Chase Freedom, you have to get the Chase Sapphire. Otherwise, you won't have transfer partners. So the Freedom won't allow you to transfer, but the Chase Sapphire will. But you can transfer points between them. So basically, again, it's not as good, but the Freedom is free. So if you're looking for some free cards, that's a good alternative. But still, the Venture X has just blown me away and one of the best cards. All right, so we got the 3 cards in our wallet. How are we gonna use them? We're gonna make this as simple as possible. You don't wanna be all weird with your wallet. Here's 10 cards. What do I use this for? What do I use that for? We want this simple, okay? The 3 cards that makes your life simple, getting you hundreds of thousands of points, all right? First up, Bilt. What are you using Bilt for? Rent. That's it, rent. You can use it for dining too, if you want to. Either if you don't have the Chase Sapphire preferred for some reason, or you just feel like it. Maybe you like Bilt, I don't know. So, but dining's great on there too. But basically it's for rent. Use it for rent. All right, Chase Sapphire, dining. Dining, online groceries, and streaming services. That's it. Streaming services is great because you can just set it up and then you don't have to think about that every month or every time you're spending money on anything. Online groceries, it's really easy to think about. Just use it on that. If you don't do online groceries, don't think about that at all. And it's just dining. If you're buying food at a restaurant, Chase Sapphire. You're going to a nice restaurant, you're going to anywhere, casual, Panera Bread, doesn't matter. It's just Chase Sapphire. And then what about everything else? Venture X, that's it. If it doesn't fall into those categories, rent, food, online, and then Venture X is everything else. If it doesn't fall into one of the other categories we just spoke about, Bilt for rent, Chase Sapphire for dining, streaming, or online groceries, it's Venture X. That's it. So you're gonna use Venture X for like 90%, maybe even 95% of your spending, and that's it. So TLDR, Bilt is rent, Chase Sapphire is dining, Venture X, everything else. That's it. So the idea of a good credit card setup isn't to make it overly complicated, right? You wanna maximize your daily spending as much as you can, but you also wanna keep it simple, very simple, and you wanna have the perks and benefits that you take advantage of, and with transferring partners and ways that you will use your points to get free travel. There are a ton of other cards that have specific things. I have an Amazon card that gets me 5 times points on Amazon. Chase Freedom Flex is a good one with rotating categories. I have World of Hyatt. Those are very specific, but if I were to choose 3, these are by far the best 3 cards I would keep: the Bilt, the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and the Venture X. If you want to check out all 7 of the cards I have in my wallet, I'll link you out to the video that I did previously where I talked through all 7 of them. There will be some duplicate information because I do have all 3 cards in this video in my wallet. But again, if you like what you see, if you like the content, comment below, give me a like, subscribe if you want to see more, check out my other videos. I appreciate it. Have an awesome day.